Welcome back to another video to go with a project of building your budget pantry. One of the best ways that you can help your food bill and start building a better pantry is by growing some of your own food. And you might think, oh, I live in an apartment, I don't have a yard, I don't have anywhere I can grow food. I'm here to tell you no matter where you live, you can grow something. You can do something that helps you know that you're putting something very nutritious into your family's diet, something that you've grown, something that doesn't have additives or doesn't have any poisons, put on it or whatever. You can grow it organically. And it can be very inexpensive to do this. You don't have to spend a lot of money growing a garden. I know you hear about people talking about if you have a yard and you want to grow a garden right in the ground, and it's difficult to, grow in a lot of places because the soil is bad. But there are ways to help amend your soil and do things really inexpensively. And I'm going to talk about that in a few different ways. I know when I first started gardening with my family here in Arizona, Arizona isn't known for having the best soil for gardens, but I did grow things in it because I couldn't afford to go buy all the soil amendments and things that, make your garden really super successful. But I did grow things and I did have some success. And, you just have to start somewhere. Talk to you about today. So I took another Dollar Tree trip, and I ended up spending, let's see, here's my receipt. I spent $28.77 at Dollar Tree. Not all of it was food, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I did round it out with some food, the things that we enjoyed the most from the last time I shopped there. So I bought 4 cans of that loaded potato soup because at $1.25, they're a good buy, and we enjoyed the pantry. I also bought 4 cans of that luncheon loaf that's sort of like Spam because that was really good and it's very versatile. So I added that to our pantry. They had in the freezer section, I'm going to warn you about this one. They had a freezer section that had a dozen frozen biscuits that you could bring home and bake yourself, from this frozen stage. And they looked like home-style biscuits. They looked pretty good. I'll post a picture in a minute here of them. I'm going to tell you, don't get them. I just thought they tasted funny. When I checked out, they were only $2 for the package of biscuits. And I thought, I usually make my own biscuits, but $2, I thought I'd try them out and tell you how they were. I think make homemade is better. They just had a funny flavor to me. And when I checked out, the girl at the cash register was like, "Oh, do you like these? They're not selling very well. I'm interested to know how much you'll like them." So maybe I should have taken that as a warning and not buy them. So I'm just going to tell you that was $2 that I didn't need to spend. I also bought 2 more of the John Morrell Polish sausages because those are such a great buy and a good way to add protein to different dinners. And so you can get those and put in your freezer if you can. That's only $1.25 a piece for a whole John Morrell Polish sausage. And I got a smoked sausage too. Another thing I tried getting, and I might show a recipe with it, is little packets of Velveeta cheese that they had for $1.25. And I thought those might be kind of good on a casserole or something. So I bought those. And I also bought, I feel like I bought some tomatoes, some diced tomatoes. Maybe I didn't because I'm not seeing them. Oh, yes. This is what happened. I bought 2 cans of the potato soup and I bought 2 cans of the diced tomatoes. And for some reason, the potato soup wasn't ringing up right. So they charged me, just ring the potato soup instead of the tomatoes. And so I actually got 2 tomatoes, 2 potato soup, and 4 luncheon loaf and the 2 Polish sausages. And so that was to add to my cupboards for my pantry. And then I was looking around because this time of year here in Phoenix, we have to start getting our gardens in for our spring gardens. And this time of year at Dollar Tree, they start getting more garden supplies in. So I did a little video while I was in the store of what they had available for gardening. Sometimes I've seen soil there even in Dollar Tree, but I didn't see it this time, so I didn't get any soil. But I took a little video and I'm going to show you that of what they had in the store. And then I'll show you what I ended up purchasing to bring home with me. show you that you can get these largish containers and dishes that if you want to grow something indoors in your house or on your patio, if you have a window that you can put something in indoors, or if you have a patio or a little door stoop or anything, you can grow a garden in a little pot. Last year I made one for my son. I had a bell pepper growing in there, and I had some green onions, and I had some garlic growing up in there, and we could harvest right off of there. My son, well, I made it for him, but then he ended up leaving it here at my house. And so I have this little mini potted garden out next to my big garden in my backyard. But it turned out that it worked out really well. I harvested green onions. I'm still harvesting green onions out of it. The pepper bush is still growing because, we don't have snow, or we didn't have a harsh winter at all this year, any freezing or anything. And so actually, the bell pepper, I'm waiting to see if the pepper comes back. There are not bell peppers, there's those mini sweet peppers on it. And then the garlic finally bit the dust, but I still have onions and peppers growing in there, and I'm going to see what happens to them here in the spring, if the peppers will come back. If not, I'll just take out the peppers and replace them with a different pepper plant. But anyway, you can have a lot of success. You don't have to fill this whole bucket with soil. You put like rocks or something down in the bottom a ways, and then fill it the rest of the way with soil. I mean, just rocks in the first bottom quarter or whatever of it, and just to kind of keep the soil from falling out the bottom. And then the rest of the way with soil. And I bought the dish. These are both were $1.25 for this cool little plant trolley to catch the water. Has wheels on the bottom, so you can actually roll it around when you want to move it to a different place to follow the sun or whatever, to get sun on it. And so that would make a really good place for you to plant your own little garden. And you can decide what you want to grow. Maybe you just want to grow herbs. Another thing that they have at Dollar Tree is seed packets. And so I bought some cilantro. You could have cilantro, basil, oregano growing in there. That would be great. I also bought some carrots. I might not grow carrots indoors. You could try it. I haven't done it indoors, so that'd be an experiment for me. But you can get these seed packets at Dollar Tree. I also got some cherry tomato seeds. I'm going to put in some cherry tomato would be great in there to grow seeds, grow it in your indoors or on your patio. And you'd have a lot of little cherry tomatoes. They produce a lot of tomatoes. And you can can cherry tomatoes too. I've done that. I have put a link to it on my blog, where I have a lot of gardening and canning blog posts on the 3 Winks Design blog, so I can give you some links, or you can just go there and search up gardening and you'll see a lot of ideas. So anyway, those things would all be great to put into your little garden. Another thing that they have at Dollar Tree that I picked up is a little, they call it tomato rocket. They have everything in there for you to start planting and growing early girl tomatoes. It says that grows hundreds of organic tomatoes. You can get up to 10 pounds, and that would be great to put into a pot out on your patio. And perfect indoors or out, it says right on the box. So see, I'm not lying to you. You can grow them indoors or out, and you'll have these tomatoes. What a great thing to do. I'm going to plant these. That I'm really excited about is this strawberry basket grow kit. It was $5, but I feel like it's going to be worth it. It has seeds, growing medium, instructions on how to grow it. It's should be really great. I'm excited about that because I weathered over strawberries for like 3 years, but I had to replace them. And then I've changed out what I'm putting in all my different growing places in my garden. So I need new strawberries. And so I thought, well, let's see how these do. And I'm excited about that. So I'm going to let you know how it goes, but I'm just telling you that for $28, I got some groceries and I got some gardening things. So that was a pretty good run at Dollar Tree. The thing I want to talk to you about is what other things you can grow really inexpensively. I think probably the first, easiest, best thing for you to start growing in your windowsill of your house let me turn the camera around, green onions. Remember last time we went shopping, we bought some green onions at the grocery store. These are growing in a jar on my windowsill. I cut the green onions back to about this far, and you put look at how long those roots have grown. When you get them at the store, of course, they're not that long, but when you cut them off, you put them into a jar of water or something, whatever container you have. And I'm telling you, you can just watch these things grow. These things have been growing, well, about a week since I bought the onions and used them. Some a day or two before the other ones, but I've already harvested some. You can see what you do is you don't harvest the whole onion. You just cut back the big parts and wash them off. And in case you had any flies in your house or whatever, wash them off and chop them up and use them in your recipes or to, just as a garnish. But mostly you could throw it in your rice, throw it wherever you would use green onions, use it. And then the other thing is if you have something like a bean soup, dry beans in your house, these are seeds. These will grow, and they like to be grown directly into the soil they're going to live in. So what I like to do is take out the kind of beans that I want to grow. Of course, the split peas won't usually grow. Once in a while you can get one to sprout as long as it has the germinating part in it. But last year I was able to grow black beans and some of these navy beans, pinto beans. I like to put them in a wet paper towel and put them aside for a couple of days or so, and pretty soon they'll start growing a sprout. And then you just directly plant it into the soil where it's going to be growing, and the beans will start growing. You'll get the pods. The pods will turn, when they turn dry, you harvest them, and then you have new beans. So out of just a few beans, you can get a whole bunch of beans. And so if you already have beans in your pantry, you don't need to spend any more money on seeds to grow beans. You can just grow those really easily. I did it last year out of this bean soup mix, which was really inexpensive to buy at the grocery store and a lot less expensive than buying seeds designated, directly for the garden. So there's a lot of things that in your house that you can grow really inexpensively. As a matter of fact, I wrote a whole blog post about this, and I put a link for it in the bottom that you can go to and see how to do that. You can also grow garlic from your garlic cloves. If you have fresh garlic in your house, you just grab a garlic clove and it'll start to grow too. Just plant it in a garlic clove that I've started. There's another one down here. I use these red cups to start my plants for my garden. So another option for gardening in your home is to grow microgreens. And if you just have a table or a windowsill by the, sun that you can grow things in, you can grow microgreens, and they can add so much to your sandwiches, to your salads. It's a really healthy way to get some greens into your diet when you don't have a very big place for a big garden. I got this microgreen growing kit from Anita this year for Christmas, my good friend Anita. And it has, all the stuff you need to grow things, but and it has the directions for growing them and everything in it. But I just wanted you to know that you don't need to have a kit. You can do it on your own. This is just a little tray, like a food saver tray for when you're doing meal prep. And one of these would be great to start a little container of microgreens. I also have seeds, like the kit that I got came with seeds that would be good to grow as microgreens, like radishes, red cabbage. And I went through my own seed stock and looked at some other things that would be great to grow as microgreens. So I found some different kinds of lettuce seeds, which would be super great as microgreens, and some other, it's called salad burnet. I have chia seeds that you can harvest in 7 to 10 days. Let's see, I have more radish sprouts for radishes, and you can just eat the sprouts and not wait for the whole radish to grow. Alfalfa sprouts would be great to put in here. But anyway, so lettuces and stuff are especially good to grow as microgreens, and different kinds of alfalfa and chia would be great too. So I'm going to start planting some, and I'll show you how it all works. But this is another option for growing something in your home.